They thought I was beneath them, the poor girl who didn't belong in their rich little world. They laughed at my background, called me names, mocked my family. But I wasn't crying anymore. Because that night, I served them the most expensive glass of karma they'd ever taste. If you've ever had to smile while someone insulted you to your face, this story's for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in. Because this revenge isn't loud. It's quiet, smooth, and worth every drop. Back in 2018, I thought I'd found love. He was charming, handsome, from a family that owned restaurants, properties, and summer houses. I came from the opposite side of the tracks, raised by a single mom who stretched every dollar, worked double shifts, and taught me to never rely on anyone but yourself. We met in his uncle's restaurant, where I worked as a server. He came in for lunch, smiled, flirted, and left his number on the receipt. I was skeptical at first. Men like him didn't date girls like me, but he was persistent, attentive, romantic. And when he proposed, I thought, wow, maybe I've finally broken the cycle. Maybe love does conquer class. Primera, why is wrong? Because once we got married, his real personality showed up, and he was every bit the narcissist his wealth had protected him to be. He didn't marry a partner. He married someone he could feel superior to. A few months into the marriage, I met his sister and her boyfriend for the first time. We picked them up from the airport. She jumped out of the terminal, squealed, and ran toward us. She looked at me top to bottom and said with a laugh, "Oh my God, she's totally Jordan's." Her boyfriend nodded. My husband chuckled. I smiled awkwardly. What's Jordan's?" he said. "It means you've got great style." I thanked her, flattered, honestly. I thought it was a cute compliment, but for the rest of their visit, she never stopped calling me that. Every time she saw me, "Hey, Jordan's." Pass the salt, Jordan's. Cute outfit, Jordan's. I thought maybe it was a term of endearment. Maybe they liked me. I couldn't have been more wrong. It happened on their third night with us. We'd been drinking too much wine. Honestly, they'd already mocked the bottle I opened. This is what? Grocery store wine? You can taste the cheap grapes. I laughed it off, but every word cut a little deeper. Then someone suggested we play truth or dare. His sister, already tipsy, looked at my husband with a smirk. Truth. What does Jordan's really mean? They all started giggling. My husband hesitated, which was my first red flag. He took a drink, laughed nervously, and finally said it. It's, the name we give to homeless people who have swag. They burst out laughing. Loud. Cruel. Mean laughter. That filled the whole room. I sat there frozen, wine glass in my hand, smiling just enough to hide the humiliation burning behind my eyes. My throat went tight. My heart was pounding in my ears. Homeless with swag. That's what they called me. They weren't complimenting me. They were mocking me for the way I grew up, for not belonging in their wealthy world. And the worst part, the man who vowed to love and protect me was laughing too. The next day, my husband acted like nothing happened. When I brought it up, he shrugged. It was just a joke. Don't be so sensitive. I pushed. I told him it wasn't funny that. It was cruel. That is when he said the words that would change everything. I might have told them a little about your background, just to prepare them. Prepare them, like meeting me, required a warning label. I realized in that moment, I wasn't his equal. I was his charity case, his little project from the wrong side of town. That night, as they all laughed in the living room, I lay awake in bed, staring at the ceiling. I wasn't crying. I was planning. My husband had been saving an expensive bottle of tequila for his sister's visit. Something rare and top shelf. They'd been bragging about it for days. It's smooth, aged, tastes like pure gold. Well, I had an idea. The day before their last night, they went hiking. I told them I'd stay home to rest. The second they left, I grabbed the tequila, set up my phone, and started recording. I poured the precious liquid down the sink and replaced it with Sosa Gold, the cheapest tequila I could find. A perfect swap. Same color, slightly different burn. Then I turned to the camera, tipsy and emotional, and hit record. "Cheers," I said, holding a shot glass, "to the girl who grew up poor. To the family dinners where we shared one chicken between 5 people and still laughed more than this entire family combined. To my mother, who taught me dignity doesn't come from a price tag. And to my husband's family, May, your expensive palates. Enjoy every drop of the $12 tequila ULL Son Cold Distinguished." I downed the shot, grinned, and poured another. By the time they got home, I was drunk off their $200 bottle, and they had no idea. The final night arrived. Everyone was dressed up. Toasting tear. Amazing trip. My husband proudly presented the tequila, pouring it like it was liquid gold. His sister sipped it delicately and smiled. You can really taste the quality. Her boyfriend nodded seriously. "It's so smooth, wow. This is top shelf for sure." Even my husband, the self-proclaimed connoisseur, swirled it and said, "This is how you know what real refinement tastes like." I sat there, smiling, barely holding back laughter. Every time they praised it, it was like music to my ears. They thought they were sipping sophistication, but what they were really drinking was humiliation in a bottle of Sosa Gold. They mocked where I came from, so I showed them that class has nothing to do with money, and everything to do with character. And when they were finally comfortable, faces flushed, glasses half full, I stood up. "Hey guys," I said sweetly. "Before you leave tomorrow, I wanted to put something together for you. A little thank you." I connected my phone to the TV. Pressed play. The room went silent. On the screen, me, sitting in our kitchen, drinking their tequila. My voice, steady and cutting, talking about the beauty of my upbringing, my pride in where I came from, and the disgust I felt being around people who measured worth by wealth. Then came the kicker. "So here's to you. My snobby in-laws, may your taste buds enjoy every drop of Sosa Gold." The video ended. No music. No noise. Just silence thick enough to choke on. I started collecting the shot glasses off the table, smiling politely. "Thanks again for coming." No one said a word. Later that night, my husband stormed into the bedroom, red-faced. "What the hell did you do?" My sister's crying. "You humiliated us?" I sat up slowly. "Yeah," I said. "Sucks, doesn't it?" He didn't speak to me for the rest of the night. The next morning, they left early. No goodbyes, no hugs, just tight jaws and silent luggage wheels rolling down the driveway. They never contacted me again. Even months later, when we visited his parents in Europe, his sister refused to come see us. I guess it is hard to face the homeless girl with swag once she has handed you your ego in a shot glass. The marriage didn't last long after that. Turns out, once you stop tolerating a narcissist, their charm evaporates fast. The divorce was messy, but worth every ounce of peace I gained. Today, I still laugh thinking about that night. Them sitting there, swirling cheap tequila like it was aged gold, talking about quality. They were tasting karma, and it burned beautifully. You can't buy kindness. You can't fake humility. You can only learn it the hard way. And sometimes, the people who look down on you are the ones standing far below. If this story gave you goosebumps, hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Tell me in the comments, what is the most petty but perfect revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe because karma always serves the last round.